He was meant to play NBA, but he was born in the wrong time period.
For real. It was a big deal back then, man. Well, that'll be revealed slowly.
They
Are we around the
made him
creation
big
of
back then.
basketball?
A
Is
what?
this the era we're in? The creation of basketball? Is this the era we're in? Aeru
Hey, if
lore?
the PCs do that, it definitely is the era we're in. You can invent basketball.
We gotta call it something
Basketball.
else.
That's gonna have to be a persuasion check though to get people to do it with you for sure.
Barrel ball?
Barrel ball? What?
Drib-
How
Dribble sphere?
Dribble sphere is awesome. Please make that real. I love
we
that. That's amazing.
we did the math, and even when kneeling, Stella had to reach up to get a potion in Argo's mouth, which I think is hilarious.
It is really funny.
Yeah, that's many sizes difference.
Just an outlier, you know.
Fire.
All right. I'm just queuing up some music, you guys. I'm gonna make it very much like a real session here.
Oh,
And I also started recording too.
Oh.
So yeah.
This is for
Okay.
you, Blaine.
Yep.
Hi, Blair.
Hey
Hi.
Blair, we miss you. We wish you were here.
Woo!
Um, that should be doing things, and then M loop Q, I think.
Just
Perfect.
intense music.
Yeah, no, I have that prepped. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm a little less prepped than a normal session, but where's everybody sleeping right now? Right? Let's just get a refresher on that.
I think everyone had their own in rooms, and Argo was staying
I
outside.
believe so. Quid, you
Yeah.
weren't there. You were there only in spirit last session. So, where would Quid have slept? Where would he have spent the night?
I think Quid mostly, at this camp sessions as well as like in Civilization, he's just at a table in the like restaurant part of the inn. Typically, he just spends the night just kind of staying motionless, sitting almost, thinking about stuff.
Okay. All right. Um, and do you just where do you power down? Do you just like wait there basically? Is that where you go into
Yeah,
stasis?
yeah. I was at the table right with Vivi and Otto at the very last bit. I mean, like didn't say he moved anywhere, so he would have just been staying there, been pretty quiet in the aftermath of all of that explosiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably just even when Otto left, he probably just stayed there.
All right.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Loitering at a table. While you're in stasis, you see a barkeep just come over and wipe off the table and pat you on the head and leave. Um, and I'm gonna say that if you don't do anything over the night, the sun begins to rise. And I think we said that Vivi would be the first to wake, right? Or Argo. It would probably be Argo, we said, right? Is that what we're gonna say still happens?
Either or, probably, yeah. I think
Yeah.
he's an early riser.
Okay. Argo, you had a particularly tumultuous yesterday. Do you wake at the normal time?
Oh, yeah. I still do.
Okay. You come to outside, right outside of the Lulu's floorboard. You have the floor now. What do you do?
Oh boy, I wasn't expecting that.
Yep.
I do think he has things he wants to do, and they involve other people, so he would probably immediately go back in, make sure Warren's all there and everything, and then go back in. And honestly, he'd probably go to Estella first, but I think this is Quid's moment, really. So anything he wants to do.
Is Quid up? You would probably walk in and be able to see each other at this point. And
Yeah, I
just to set the scene, other people are up, like the attendants on duty here in the loose floorboard. They're just cleaning up and prepping basically for a lunch rush eventually. Um, Floors to you, Quid.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll see Argo come in, probably looking at Warren and everything, and I'll won't meet his gaze initially at all. I'll kind of seemingly be having a pen and my magical quill out and seem to be writing stuff down, crossing it out. Just not particularly, maybe glancing once in a while in Argo's direction, but not maintaining any kind of eye contact.
Okay. In this case, I think that Argo, if you wanted to go and talk to Estella, you can do that now, probably.
All right, because he wouldn't go straight to Quid. He wants to check in with Estella first, so he probably would he. I don't know if he's smart enough to ask. He's smart enough to ask which room is hers, so he's
All
not
right.
looking on doors.
That's good. I'm glad one person has developed that habit. Okay.
BB.
I hope that never changes. So Argo, you walk up to the same man with mutton chops that served you some cabbage earlier. Oh, what can I get you? Yeah,
Oh,
what are you looking
I
for?
was looking to know which room a friend of mine settled in for the night in.
Oh, which
Uh,
friend?
the gnomish woman.
Oh, shorter lass, yeah. Room 22 upstairs. And he just points up towards the stairs.
All right, and Argo goes up to room 22,
Mm-hmm.
and he knocks. He knocks again
All right.
to see if she's.
If you are asleep, you can make a perception check if you want, Estella.
No, as for the first time, you knock and the door opens very quickly.
Oh.
He goes, "Oh, Argo, I should have known you would be up this early."
Hello. It's hard to show nervousness when you don't have expressions, but he is like fiddling with his fingers a little bit because he is. There was a lot of tension yesterday, and he's not really sure how to carry himself at the moment. Mm, This is going to be a little out of the blue for me. May I come in?
Of course. You don't have to ask. She walks in, just kind of expects you to follow her.
Argo.
Will note she has big bags under her eyes, like she has not slept well, clearly.
Argo goes, I will continue to ask, though. And he walks in, actually closes the door behind him, and then he gets closer to her height by kneeling down, and he's like, before we did anything else today, over the course of the night, I've thought about how to express how much you standing up for me when you did not have to meant to me. And in that regard, I have failed unequivocally. So again, probably a little out of pocket for me. May I hug you?
Okay, she's a little taken aback by that. Yeah, you probably just see her kind of looking at you, a little shocked. Stare at the ground, a little embarrassed, and just nod and open her arms.
Okay. Argo, this is his first time actually hugging somebody, not like he didn't even hug back the woman because he didn't know how. So it's very much like a claw machine closing around a plushie. Like it's slow. And he's like, and it's basically like if she's uncomfortable at any point, she dips out of there, right? And then if she doesn't, it's softer than you'd expect from somebody as large and imposing as Argo. And he just kind of holds it there for a second. And it's weird hugging somebody so much shorter than him too. So it's like he's actively trying not to pick her up as he's hugging her. And he just goes, "Oh, thank you." And then he isn't sure how long to hold it, so it's probably like a nice 5 seconds before he like releases all at once.
Thank you. And she doesn't quite know what to say. But I think yesterday was a lot. And you coming here means a lot to me.
It very much was. I hope you know I meant what I said yesterday. We have roughly 6 days before we have to start traveling towards the city for that ball. And in those 6 days, I'm going to see if I can scrounge up any other information on Crystal Brew, anything more direct to get it to you as quickly as possible.
She nods and she says, I trust you.
Now you. If we got to go to that party, though, if you say so, I will deck Maliborn without a second thought.
Maybe don't get thrown in prison.
I'm just saying it's on the table if we need to do it.
Okay.
Okay, let's go meet the day. And then he stands up, whoosh, like real fast, and then he just leaves because he's feeling awkward.
She grabs her artificer goggles off the nightstand and follows him.
All
Goes
right.
back down.
And is anybody else waking up at this point? Vivi, are you awake at this point?
Yeah, she's well awake. She's
Okay.
probably in the same area Quid is in.
Okay, so you've wandered downstairs then. Okay. In that case, I guess we'll pan back over to Ryan, Quid. You see everybody wander downstairs. Is anybody getting breakfast right now? Anything like that?
He probably got like the cheapest juice she could.
Okay.
Sipping on it while people watches.
Gotcha. How about the rest of you guys?
Argo's getting Warren lettuce this time, mixing it up.
Oh, ooh.
Ooh.
Nice.
We'll get to carrots one day.
Ooh, yeah.
Those are very bad for rabbits.
Are they? Have you done research?
Are they actually?
do not overfeed rabbits carrots because they will die.
All right, I'm excited for you to get that rabbit the rabbit care book, so we can all share in this lore. All right. Okay, so yeah, Warren's munching on some lettuce then. In that case. All right.
So I think you've been seeing Quid, as everyone's gathering for the morning. I don't know what their vibes are with each other, but I'm frantically writing down things on little bar napkins. You see maybe about, 7 or 8 of them scattered around him, and he's organizing them. He's like shuffling them up. At a certain point, when everyone's kind of closer, he'll, in a very raspy whisper, go, Argo? A little louder then. Argo!
I think once Argo clocks that he's being spoken to, I imagine he was already sitting at the table with Warren, and then he focuses his attention on Quid. Yes?
Yeah, Quid quickly gathers all the napkins, puts them into an order, and starts reading the first one. Argo, I have something to say to you, and wanted to say it yesterday in front of everybody, but I couldn't. Argo, yesterday, you really scared me. As Quid is talking, a scene kind of plays out in his helmeted head through an unconscious use of prestidigitation. There are the two black viscous orbs that usually make up Quid's eyes. They fluctuate and kind of take on some silhouetted appearances. You see, obviously, a female gnome and a massive automaton silently shouting at each other against the Scion backdrop in Quid's headspace. You see a third, smaller, dark blob in the shape of a rabbit lying prone, splayed out into space between them. Simultaneously, as that scene's kind of playing out, Quid says, I've seen your red form now do some really, really awe-inspiring things. At the battle in Aubec, at the Goblin Fort, and in those moments, I wasn't scared at all. I was happy you were on my side, blasting baddies together, but it's been moments in the purple form that have been far more frightening. The two figures in Quid's headspace become more agitated and animated. The automaton blob reaches for a chair, and as that happens, they each transform. The gnomish figure grows to become a full adult woman. The automaton figure shrinks to become a full adult male. And the bunny between them transforms into a small boy, huddled on the ground, making himself very, very small. The man then slams the chair into the woman, and the scene dissolves back into Quid's sad eyes. He continues. You told me a couple days ago that your intentions are to protect, but Argo, nobody in that tavern yesterday nobody felt protected. They were scared, they were terrified. Not even when Obik was in flames and we faced an entire warband did I feel less safe than I did last night. The last time I was with someone yelling and shouting and screaming and kicking in a tavern about not getting enough respect and about being a man, I was terrified of what that person might do, and I was so powerless, and I could only pray to Kellic for my fortunes to change, that his rage would just stop. Last night I froze up too. I couldn't move a single joint. I couldn't say a word. Um, at this point, Quid's appearance flickers between him as the automaton vessel and the illusion of a lanky, black-haired, skinny, pale boy with forgettable, unremarkable features. He, napkins in one hand, kind of hugs himself around the arms. Flickerings of a disguised self going on. He continues. But Argo, he's looking directly at Argo, which he's probably had wandering eyes this whole time. Argo, if I'm, let me be clear though, if I'm ever scared of you hurting one of us again, Quid opens up his hand, revealing a miniature seven-fingered clay hand. And Argo, the earth beneath you begins to rumble. You won't have to worry about being in control, because I'm stronger now than I was in Dawnfall, and I'll stop you myself. Quid lets out a big sigh. The rumbling, which was coming to a crescendo, stops. I'll stop you myself, and I'll help you. Hod thinks we're a team that can do a lot more than we have, and I do too. Last night, after you and Estella left, you know what happened? Vivi called this a party. And I don't know, I really like that. I mean, we made so much money in the past couple days. And we have a patron now that'll pay us even more to just keep on doing what we're doing. We shouldn't be yelling at friends that they've wasted a lifetime on their knees. Well, that's what I wanted to say to you. I've said it, and I hope we can keep traveling together. Please don't be mad at me.
I think Argo has very purposely been keeping quiet to let Quid say his piece. And he places Warren on the ground, on the table very gently. And he's like, I understand, ready, much of what you say. I am sorry that you feel more contented with the me who is not there than the me who is. In truth, I've been very afraid recently. Vivi, Vivi brought forth the idea that I, the person, may not be real, and that has struck deeper with me than perhaps it should have, and I lashed out when I felt Otto was further curtailing my thin sense of self. I and he like stops to gather his thoughts, and he's like, in truth, I quite like the idea of us being friends. It's been a short existence of mine, but I like us. He gestures to like the group as a whole. I do not regret getting upset. Things when you hear what I hear, that is the natural reaction. But I regret I shouldn't. In anger, I attacked him personally. That was not okay. I recognize that. I'm sorry I made you afraid of me. And he doesn't know what else to say.
Quid will take both hands and take one of Argo's. I've, I'm sorry. I mean, this purple form has had some great moments in my eyes too. I know that Vivi can sometimes put a lot of thoughts in people's heads, but I mean, I don't think it matters if you're real or not. You're stronger than any of us combined. Certainly, you've lasted longer through the millennia than all of us. Whatever real part of you there is, it's going to probably be there for many, many more years, let's say.
I think Argo's other hand like comes in. They are weirdly holding hands right now, but
Yeah.
his other hand comes and like clasps his and is like, if there was any confusion, you are my friend, Quid. And I'm sorry if my actions haven't reflected that. I'll be better.
And I hope we can all help you. Thanks for
But
hearing me
I'm
out,
going.
Argo.
But I'm looking for any way to avoid this ball.
Well, I mean, it should be so much fun! What are you talking about?
I cannot imagine it going well.
I can't wait to get dolled up, spend all the money that we have. We're in Evenheim! This is one of the biggest cities in Thalesia!
I have 10 platinum to my name, and I have a plan for every single piece, and it does not involve clothes.
Well, good thing you gave me a couple of those coins, and I have plans for them too. Well,
Thank you, my friend Quid.
Quid,
thanks for...
Oh, shit!
what just happened?
I don't think Argo clocked that the others were here.
Yeah, I think Quid would have been saying that in front of, earshot of everyone.
It's just a gnome jump scare.
Yeah, very much that, Dwight and Angela scene.
Yeah, that had that same energy, yeah.
Yeah, she's walking up to Quid specifically, and she goes, "Quid, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Your concerns, though valid, I can't help but question, do you believe Otto was in the right last night?"
I don't think. I think Otto has put his foot in his mouth more than once, but his intentions. I think his intentions were good. I mean, it's funny. I thought it was so funny last night. Argo saying, that Otto should be more of a man, but he's the only man amongst us. I mean, look at me and him. Ugh. He wasn't. I don't think he meant anything by the word control. He meant temperance. One of the one of the oaths.
Very well. How do you reckon that one of us being disrespectful towards the other should be taken next time?
I mean, I've always found that words say a lot more than actions. I don't know. It was so public. It was so loud. We're not the only people here.
So you would rather we yell at each other in private?
I mean, I'd rather there'd be no yelling at all. But I understand where the emotions ran high yesterday. I mean, there's gotta be a better way. What do you think, Vivi?
She's been sipping on her juice this whole time, watching this to the corner.
Mhm.
Mm, I'm with Quid on this one. I think that if we took a moment to understand what Otto actually meant, which was not control, and we recognize that he puts his foot in his mouth like we all inevitably do, then there would have been no yelling, I think. I mean, at the end of the day, if we're going to stick together, we can't keep having arguments like this, or else we're going to eventually disband. And that's not going to be good for any one of us, or our pockets, he says, and she looks like Quid.
The words right out of my mouth.
I think that we'll inevitably have to learn, because this is not the last time we're going to disagree on these things. And I don't think anyone's stance changed last night. We didn't really accomplish much after that argument, did we? We didn't learn a whole lot. We made a fool of ourselves and then left.
I do not believe I made a fool of myself.
I don't think so either. I think we were valid in what we were saying. And I don't understand how you aren't angry too. He tried to snake something across the table to me in front of your very faces. I
mean,
She's just very confused.
Quid will hold up the now kind of napkins that he's been kind of crunching up between his hands anxiously. I think he was just preparing to talk to Argo like I do. I don't think he was trying to go around him, and I think he was always meaning to talk to Argo directly.
Then
He
why
seems like a
didn't
pretty
he?
straight shooter. Because these things take editing and proofreading. Nobody writes a book in one go.
He did not ask for my opinion. He asked me to do something that was not okay. And I will not just let that go until he has taken responsibility for it.
But do you think yelling at him will make him any more ready to see your side?
I think yelling does get the point across at times, yes. Speaking and trying to tell your side of things doesn't always go well. It hasn't gone well. And he wasn't understanding even if when I was trying to speak to him, so I don't understand what we're supposed to do in these situations. I'm trying to understand.
I do not mean to be such a point of contention. I apologize if my personality is. He kind of trails off because he doesn't know what that final word should be.
You have done nothing wrong, Argo. This isn't about your personality. You've been fantastic, and clearly everyone here appreciates you. It's just I don't know how to get around this. Should we just forgive Otto innately for what he said without him even apologizing? I don't understand what you want me to do.
I don't think anyone has to apologize. I just think we need to accomplish what you were trying to set out from the very start, which was to help Otto understand. And clearly, if yelling isn't working here, we have to try something else.
We can't just look past entire relationships and burn bridges on the first misdemeanor. I mean, I know there's been other rocky moments, but
Again, not apologize for getting upset. When Otto wakes, I will apologize for personal offense because that was unnecessary. And it was in the heat of the moment. For the actual argument itself, I can't bring myself to apologize for. I feel as if I have been wrong more than I have wronged.
I think at that, Quid just sighs like big sigh of relief. Like that's all I was trying to say. I mean, not that you have to apologize, but it's better we all be friends.
I wish you all are my friends, of course. I don't want to be. I don't wish to be aggressive. And things I said in that argument when I felt threatened, I shouldn't have said, and I recognize that.
Then we're at a good start, then, aren't we?
But I should say, if I am to apologize, I would like one in turn.
Doesn't sound too unreasonable.
That is
It was-
agreeable. That is where I stand.
Well, it sounds like a pretty fair thing to bring to a negotiation table. I would venture a gamble that Otto thinks the same way.
In truth, I wonder sometimes if he even thinks of me as living.
Do you care?
Not a man like he or And he even gestures at Quid, like, or you, but I am sapient in my way, and I feel that should be respected, even if it's not symmetrical to his experience.
I think that you can set those boundaries regardless of his beliefs, I think. I don't think it's too much to ask.
Yes.
No.
Are we okay?
I'm okay. I'm feeling better. For letting me speak my part. Stella, are you okay?
She's kind of been looking at the table as Argo has been talking. I suppose.
Your your tone is telling me two different things from your words. I don't.
It's not the first time that someone has said something utterly disrespectful. But this time was different because I had the choice to say what I was feeling. And if if somebody says something that I believe to be disrespectful, I will not be letting it slide. And I'm sorry if I do get angry in the future, because I know that I will. But I'm okay.
Two thumbs slowly begin to rise.
Oh my god.
Say. Um, Even if it was unintentionally disrespectful, his opinion matters to you because, at least in some part, you care about Otto, right?
I care to not see him slain in front of me.
That's a pretty good start.
It's a whole lot more than a lot of people, I think you can say. I don't mean to direct conversation, but I tend to hear a lot. Argo, what's this whole thing about your sapience being an illusion because I brought it up? I
Oh,
didn't. Um, what I meant to say is that from an external perspective, I guess someone might presume it, but does it really matter what you what other people think of if the way you
I
perceive things is different from all of us, does it matter? If your emotions are different or lesser than what a vessel or a human might experience. Does that matter?
suppose the large root of it was if me, if I can be erased with a simple spelling of magic, is it, is it cruel of me to form the connections I have that can be so easily torn away?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I
Mm,
could be erased by one of your fists.
I
So,
was just about to say that. I think if you punch me in the head too hard, I think I also go away.
but Argo, I mean, I remember when we first met, you were so sure that you weren't a vessel. Do you think you're real?
I don't know, and it scares me because take me away, and you still have a fully functioning automaton fulfilling its purpose. So I suppose that was the thing that gave credence to the idea that Vivi brought up, and I wouldn't exist to even miss the connections I've made in the short amount of time. But it scares me still. Perhaps it's foolish.
I think the part of you that you're so worried about being taken away is still very much a part of who you are. I think if you took that away, you wouldn't be you anymore. You'd be something else.
And I mean, for me at least, that uncertainty, those human emotions and such are, I don't know, maybe something, parts of what make me me. It's parts of my soul.
What I have, and he gestures towards like where you know the core is under his chest plate. Is like, is that even comparable? I don't know.
Does it matter if it's comparable? Maybe you shouldn't compare yourself to us or a vessel. Maybe you're your own thing, and that matters just as much.
A large reason of why what Otto said affected me so much is with this free will of mine. I have made friends I do not wish to lose, and the idea that could be taken away very easily scares me.
Taken away by who? I'd like to see them try.
You are the least intimidating person to have said that.
Come on, come at me.
I don't think you want to make good on that,
Oh no.
Quid.
No, probably not.
It would be crushed into a pile of scrap.
Think
Listen, when Quid made the ground tremble, it was pretty scary.
Do it again. Do it under my chair.
I mean, no, I guess I wasn't really thinking we were on top of a canyon. Oh.
oh, look how much damage you did to these floorboards. You're gonna have to pay for that.
No way! No!
I think really quick, Argo does. Well, it's not quick. He reaches his hand like towards Quid, and if like he's expecting a flinch because there is Quid has said that he was scared of him.
Yeah, he's still a little on edge.
Yeah, but if he doesn't reflex back too hard, Argo does put his like hand on Quid's head and like as if the guy had hair, ruffles the top of his head a little bit and then brings his hand back.
People keep doing that to me.
It was a very rufferable head. That was hard to say.
Lean down. I want to try.
Should I be charging for this? And he leans down.
She tries to ruffle his head. It's just smooth.
It's a very nice sensation.
No, Stella, now you're in debt.
No!
No, it's the friends and family fee. The discount. You won't charge me, right, Quid?
1 platinum.
Oh, Jesus!
Whoa.
What's the normal fee?
How about I kick you in the shin and we call it even?
Ah! Okay. Well, thank you guys. That felt nice.
Well, I'm ready to get today started. How about you guys?
Yeah, 6 whole days.
Of searching, so I don't gotta go to that ball.
All right.
Let's go to Stella.
I believe that's the end there, guys. Right? That sounded like it, right?
Think
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Session 5.5. We did it, guys.
Woohoo!
Exactly an hour, just about. Awesome. What should the title for this? Should it be session 5.5? Like, what's the subheading that Matt's gonna put on it? What do we
Like
think?
5.5 is pretty accurate.
Okay. All right. Cool.
What'd you say?
Oh, I was just trying to pick out like a little title because you always put titles under the recordings.
Oh
What are you
yeah.
thinking, Matt?
Yeah.
A dealer's choice.
I'm thinking like Quid's Revenge.
Quid's Revenge.
I
Oh
don't
my god.
Yeah.
Revenge
Very
of-
ominous.
I don't know.
Scare him there before he gets to it.
Yeah.
Otto fully believes we died.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna end recording here, I suppose.